Hey there Star Wars fans, and welcome back to another episode of Astromech Productions, a Star Wars and LEGO Star Wars YouTube channel. In today's video, I'll be counting down the top 10 LEGO Star Wars sets that I feel need a remake. Over the course of its 21 years, LEGO Star Wars has made some fantastic sets. However, as technology has improved, lots of those sets have become really outdated and are in dire need of a re-release. These sets will all either be iconic ships, locations or vehicles from the Star Wars universe that have been off shelves for too long, sets that are maybe not so iconic but were great models in their time, or sets that were poorly made the last time around and need to be properly remade. This list will be going in ascending order, finishing with the set that I feel most needs a remake. Now, there will be some Clone Wars era sets that should be on this list, however, I will be making a separate video purely dedicated to them in the near future, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, enjoy the video. Okay, so the first set here on my list is the Ghost. The original set was set number 75053. It had 929 pieces, 4 minifigures, and was recommended for ages 14 and upwards. It was released in 2014 for £80 or $100, which adjusted for inflation is £90 or $110. Now, the reason I put this one at 10 is because I think it needs a remake, but it's not as iconic as the other sets on this list, because it's on Rebels. A lot of people don't like Rebels, but I still think it needs a remake. If you look at the original set, it's not up to standard at all. It's a lot smaller than it should be. In universe, the Ghost should be bigger than the Millennium Falcon, and it's not like that at all. The interior is practically non-existent, which for a set, costing as much as it did, and set of that kind of standard, it should have a pretty decent interior. The minifigures weren't what they should be. For this kind of set, we should be getting more minifigures. I think all round it just wasn't a good enough set. It didn't live up to the expectations. Now, it looked okay on the outside, and I think they could keep with the outside, but they just need to do more in the inside and make it bigger, because obviously it's designed to be a playset. I think this one primarily, because obviously Rebels is directed more at kids. And I've seen some really great mocks of this, so there's definitely capability for it to be better. Now, obviously mocks can't accurately represent what LEGO can do, because mock creators aren't confined in the same way as LEGO are, but I think it shows that there is the potential for this set to do more than it has done, and I really hope that LEGO consider re-releasing this set in the future. Another set that I believe needs a remake is the UCS Raiders TIE Advance. The original set was set number 10175, had 1,212 pieces, no minifigures, and was recommended for ages 9 to 14. It was released in 2006 for £70 or $100, which adjusted for inflation is £102 or $131. Now, this set is generally considered to be one of the worst UCS sets, simply because it looks so terrible by today's standards. If you go back to 2006 when it was released, it looked okay. But now it just can't compare to the other sets at all, because it's so outdated. I mean, look at the cockpit piece, it's just hideous. It does have go for it that it does have the right colour scheme, which is nice, and I wish they'd followed that up with the other TIE fighters of that era. But I just really want LEGO to re-release this, refine it, and make it look a lot more modern, because it has the capabilities of doing that really effectively and being one of the best UCS sets, especially due to how iconic this set is. Jango Fett Slave 1 is another set that I feel needs a remake. The original set was set number 7152, had 360 pieces, 2 minifigures, and was recommended for ages 8 to 12. It was released in 2002 for £45 or $50, which adjusted for inflation is £74 or $73. And this is another set that, similar to the Raiders UCS TIE Advance, just can't hold up to today's standards, which is really unfortunate. And I don't get the logic behind why LEGO hasn't released another one of these sets. I mean, we've seen 4 playset versions of Boba Fett Slave 1 and a UCS version of Boba Fett Slave 1, but we saw one of these 18 years ago. And I think in the movies we actually see this ship more times than we see Boba's Slave 1, because we have it in that very iconic scene in Attack of the Clones, Jango Fett versus Obi-Wan. And again, there are some great mock-ups of these, So I just really hope that LEGO consider remaking this and refining it and making sure it lives up to today's standards. This next set is probably one that most of you wouldn't have expected to see on here. It's not the kind of set that you think of when you think of sets that need a remake, but this is the First Order ATST. The original set was set number 75201, had 370 pieces, 4 minifigures, and was recommended for ages 8 to 14. It was released in 2018 for £55 or $40, which adjusted for inflation is £57 or $52. And this set has got to be one of the worst received LEGO sets of all time, and for good reason. It is an absolute abomination. You get half an ATST, like literally the entirety of the top of the ATST, the main play feature, is gone. I mean, what the hell, LEGO? What were you thinking during the designing process for this? It's absolutely awful, and we desperately need to see a completed ATST, because this First Order ATST looks really nice, the actual in-movie version. So it had the capabilities, again like lots of the set on the list, of being a really brilliant set, but they just messed it up. And, you know, let LEGO, you know, give it 5 years or so, they need to re-release the set properly as a proper, decent LEGO set that's actually completed, not that kind of half wreck that we got as. So we're now getting into territory of sets that most people expect to be on the list that are fairly standard, that people have been clamouring for ages, starting with the TIE Bomber. The original set was set number 4479, had 230 pieces, 1 minifigure, and was recommended for ages 7 and upwards. It was released in 2003 for £28 or $30, which adjusted for inflation is £45 or $43. And the first thing that I want to say is, how has it been 17 years since we've had a TIE Bomber? Like, this is such a great set, such an iconic set from the universe. I just don't see how it's been so long. I mean, a lot of the TIE fighters need updated, but this one is just awful and just desperately needs the update. And around the time of that Solo came out, I think a lot of people were expecting to see one then, as they were featured in Solo quite a few times, and we didn't. And I don't really know when LEGO are going to do this again. And I don't get why they're not doing it again, because it would sell like wildfire if they put it out. And, you know, the original set is, it's iconic, but it looks awful. I mean, that blue coloration, why? I don't get why they would do that. So it needs, with a lot of the sets, updating, refining, making it look like a proper stable, playable LEGO Star Wars sets for kids to grow up with and to become iconic in however much time. This next set is again another TIE fighter, this time the TIE Interceptor. The original set was set number 6206, had 212 pieces, 1 minifigure, and was recommended for ages 7 and upwards. It was released in 2006 for £18 or $20, which adjusted for inflation is £26 or $26. And again, like the TIE Bomber, this set is very iconic from the movies, but again outdated. And I own this set. It's a decent enough set, but it just doesn't live up to today's standards. And similar with the TIE Bomber, that hideous blue colour. I mean, when in Star Wars was any TIE fighter ever blue? Never. So why would they go with that? I don't understand that. So it just needs updating again, like the TIE Bomber and other sets on this list, and making it into a more stable playset for kids and a more displayable set for adults. Because the TIE Bomber it's an iconic ship from Star Wars, and a lot of people like it a lot. So it just makes sense for them to do something like that in the near future, and I really, really hope that they do, because this has the capabilities of being such a brilliant set. The next set here is the Wookie Katma. The original set was set number 7260, had 376 pieces, 6 minifigures and was recommended for ages 9 to 14. It was released in 2005 for £40 or $50, which adjusted for inflation is £60 or $68. And again, like a lot of the sets on the list, this is a very iconic set. It's from Revenge of the Sith, which for a lot of people it's their favourite movie, and I love the Wookiee stuff that LEGO comes out with. I think it makes some really nice builds. I don't think they do it in the exact same way, so this original set included a Swamp Speeder. If you look at LEGO now, there's no way they'll include a Swamp Speeder in a set like this. But I mean, that set isn't, there's not much that needs updating, just kind of minifigures and just a few pieces on there, and they could do that quite easily, and I really hope they do, because a lot of people really love the set and have fond memories of the set. I know that I'd get this straight away if it came out, so I really hope they just make it look newer, because I don't think it would take them, it would be too difficult for them to do it, so hopefully sometime in the near future they will do that. The Battle of Endor is another set that I feel needs a remake. The original set was set number 8038, had 890 pieces, 12 minifigures, and was recommended for ages 9 to 14. It was released in 2009 for £85 or $100, which adjusted for inflation is £115 or $122. And this set, like a lot of the other ones here, is a very iconic set, but it's outdated, and it, I just really hope LEGO re-release it as a nicer, better looking set with the modern technologies that they have. I mean, to get up what is essentially a £115 set that has 12 minifigures, there's no way we're going to get that now. They'd either bump up the price massively or take it down tons. I mean, ideally we get a £115 set with 12 minifigures, but it's never going to happen. You also have all those little side builds, like the ATST, the catapult. We wouldn't get those, but I just hope that we get an almost expanded bunker, because the bunker's the main essence of the build, so I just hope that they build on that and make it a lot nicer and more modern. The next set here is the Imperial Star Destroyer playset. The most recent iteration of the set was set number 75055, had 1,359 pieces, 7 minifigures, and was recommended for ages 9 to 14. It was released in 2014 for £120 or $130, which adjusted for inflation is £135 or $143. And it's been 6 years now since we've got an IRC playset, so I really hope that with the modern tech that we have, LEGO can build on this and improve it. The last one, it was okay looking, but the interior was goddamn awful. I mean, it wasn't there. The bridge was, there was a sort of bridge, but it wasn't really there. The back section, I think there was one screen for the whole thing, and that was it. In the most recent Star Destroyer, we've got the First Order Star Destroyer. There's so much stuff going on in the back, and I really hope that LEGO could push to do that. Obviously, I hope we get the Sith Eternal Star Destroyer first, but sometime in the near future, I hope that they remake the set bigger and better than ever, because it really has the capabilities of going really nicely. Now, before I release my top pick for the LEGO Star Wars set that needs a remake, I'm going to go through 3 of my honourable mentions. The first is the 7181 UCS TIE Interceptor, which came out back in the year 2000. It was one of the first 2 UCS sets ever released. A really nice set, but again, I just hope LEGO release it and refine it and make it a lot nicer. The second honourable mention is the Home One Mon Calamari Star Cruiser, which was set number 7754 and came out back in 2009. Again, this was a really nice set. It was a Toys R Us exclusive, I believe, so it wouldn't be released in the same way now. But, it's a really nice set. You get a Starfighter in the A-Wing, a couple of really nice minifigures, Mon Mothma, Lando Calrissian, Admiral Akbar, etc. And it's just an all-round really nice set for its price for what you got. The third honourable mention I have is the TIE Defender. The original set was 8087, and it came out back in 2010. Now, this was before Rebels, I believe, and we saw a lot of the TIE Defender action in Rebels, so I hope that LEGO decide to re-release this set. This was kind of in the old TIE Fighter style, not in the blue style, but not before this kind of modern, more refined. A lot of it's kind of in that awkward era, so I just hope that they re-release it, re-refine it, and make it a lot nicer set, as with all my other honourable mention. So the last set on my list, the set that I feel LEGO most needs to do a remake of, is the UCS Death Star. Now in my mind, this is a collaboration of the original Death Star playsets that we've got, and then the Death Star 2, so I'm going to read the specs for both. The most recent iteration of the Death Star 1 was set number 75159, had 4,016 pieces, 27 minifigures, and was recommended for ages 14 and upwards. It was released in 2016 for £410 or $500, which adjusted for inflation is £450 or $553. The original Death Star 2 was set number 10143, had 2,441 pieces, no minifigures, and was recommended for ages 16 and upwards. It was released in 2005 for £250 or $270, which adjusted for inflation is £376 or $365. So this is a set that a lot of people have been clamouring for a while, and in my mind I hope we get the kind of interior of the first Death Star and then the paneling of the second Death Star. I prefer this to be the Death Star one slightly, because then we just get a more complete build. With the release of the Skywalker Saga poster the other day, we saw a Death Star in the corner. A lot of people have been saying that that's the new Death Star we're going to get. I believe that is the Death Star 1 from the pictures. So I really hope that this is the set we're going to get released, because this is one of the most iconic sets of all time. It's such a beloved set by so many fans, and the last Death Star was quite a disappointment because people felt that it was too kiddish. I mean, obviously LEGO is often directed at kids, but it doesn't fulfill the expectations of everyone, and I think to really do that it needs to have the paneling, and that's what it was lacking, the key thing, the paneling, because that makes it displayable yet it has playability. So hopefully in the near future LEGO will collaborate these two sets and make kind of an ultimate Death Star, and we get the set that we've been wanting for so long. So guys, what did you think? Were there any sets on here that you were surprised to see, not surprised to see, or any sets you think should have been on here that weren't? Tell me in the comment section down below. Vote on the poll in the corner which of these sets that you'd like to see in the future. Check out my Instagram at Astromech_Productions. May the force be with you, and I'll see you next time on Astromech Productions.